Hi, everybody. This is a wee bit of alchemy. I'm Rick Barrett. Welcome. I'm going to continue today with a theme that we've been probing the last few weeks, and that is the fine-tuning our awareness of Song and Jin and in the expressions in our body, and and how that affects the flow of energy, and but also probably even more so, it affects your state of awareness, your state of being. It opens up your spirit whenever you bring more focus to these ideas. And the one thing to remember in all Neigong, which would be like all internal practices, would be that it all is enhanced by conscious, intentional, mindful feeling and doing. So things that would ordinarily be happening at a pre-conscious level, that is, you don't even notice that they're happening. They're just, it's just part of your life. And then whenever you make those conscious, that is, you bring them into your awareness in such a way as you're narrowing your focus so that you're isolating these things, then they come alive. So today we're going to talk about 5 energy gates in our motions. And the idea of energy gates here is that when you bring conscious awareness to your feeling and doing, as you activate these different gates, then the chi is enhanced. It gets expanded, and the flow of energy is enhanced as well. And with that, also by using an understanding of body mechanics, then you can get the energy to move in the direction that you want it to move, and you can express it through your body, so that it becomes Jin. And that's the kind of the foundation of all internal martial arts, is that being able to use your intention, use your mind to focus on these things which would ordinarily be happening at a pre-conscious level, and then bringing them to life, opening up these energy gates. And so best thing to do is just to get started on that. So why don't you stand up, and we will explore these 5 energy gates. Okay, let's begin with our 3 pillars. And we're going to activate the 3 nails on each foot: the heel nail, the ball of the foot, the big toenail. And as you're bringing awareness to those parts of your foot, and you're consciously feeling your contact through your heel, along the big toe line, and on the ball of the foot, and the big toe itself. You just kind of really feel into those, because this establishes our earth connection, which we can then vary depending on what kind of energy we're looking to get. We're going to begin by sinking into the heel nail more, so that really gets emphasized. Really feel your weight settling into the heel nail. And this is what Master Chen calls the anchor nail. And it's the yin nail. It activates the yin energies. It really establishes your foundation. This opens up your bubbling well point in the center of your foot, and allows the earth chi, the yin chi of the earth, to enter through the bubbling well points. Neither soft, but not bent too much. You don't want to feel any strain there at all. You're just softly just hanging and allowing yourself to sink through your feet and into the earth, allowing that earth chi to rise and circulate through your body. Now reach with the crown of your head, tuck in your chin, and open the jade pillowgate at the base of your skull. And this activates the yang pole. By reaching up with the crown, you open up the bai hui at the center of the top of the head, and this allows the yang chi of the heavens to enter and animate your body. Even as you're reaching up, you also want to be sinking down. And go into the balls of your feet as you do this. Reach with the crown of the head. So go into the balls of your feet and just feel that. And feel the yang expansion that occurs with that. And reach with your elbows and rotate your palms so they're facing behind you. This opens up the shoulder joints. Feel into your hands. Notice the sensations that are occurring there as we open the shoulder gate. We activate more chi that enters into the hands. This indicates a whole body energetic connection. Relax your lower back and drop your sacrum. Let your pelvis level out. Now point and reach with your index fingers and feel the subtle effects of energetic coherence on your body-mind. This unifies the energy and unifies your connective tissue system so that you're enhancing that sense of one body, one energy. Release your quad, your hip joints, and just spiral down and turn. And just feel that soft motion there in the hip area. You're sinking down into your legs. And it's the opposite of the way we usually stand, which is to push away from the earth. We're actually kind of sinking down into the earth. And back to center. Sinking that balls of your feet and reach with your wrists and extend your fingers. Now, from here, this is the first gate we're going to talk about, and this is the fingers. It's not necessarily the first to be activated, but I want to kind of establish this one first. I want to get that sensation there. And I think the easiest way to sense that the finger gate, the energy there, is to sense your fingernails as though they were claws. And what this does is this activates wood chi, which is a little more dramatic than some of the other energies. So you feel like your claws, and just like take your hands and just like you're very gently with the very tips of your fingers, you're drawing in. You're taking those claws and you're drawing in. You're like a cat is kind of pulling on something, pulling on your bathrobe. So just feel that and then release that and then to feel that again. So just notice that when we activate those fingers, like that. We are awakening a subtle energy there, which then you can feel throughout the whole system. So that's that. That's when I talk about the finger gates, that's one way of doing it. You can also, just by pointing and reaching with your index fingers, we did a minute ago, you can activate the finger gate that way too. But we're here just using our conscious, mindful feeling and doing to activate something which we might ordinarily overlook. That is the energy produced by these simple motions with the fingernails. And so the next gate would be the wrists. And a simple way to feel that is to just bend at the wrist and lift the fingers. And then bring the wrist down and drop the fingers. And then lift the fingers and drop the fingers. So the fingers are very sung, they're very relaxed. The wrist is relaxed. And then we activate it. Come up. This time, combine those two gates. You want to feel the fingers and the wrists. And so as you're pulling down, feel those claws, kind of your cat is scratching at the curtain now, just pulling down, and feel that coming down. And then we're activating two gates here now. The fingers and the wrists. This exercise can be done seated as well if you like. So to fingers and wrists. Okay, so now we're going to go and activate the elbows. So that's the next gate, the elbow gate. And so here we're going to kind of reach down, extend the arms so that the elbows are down. Bring your elbows against your sides, just so this acts as a guide here. So you're really just isolating the elbows, not coming up, reaching with the wrists, and then reach with the fingers. Feel those claws, fingers come up and then coming down. Feel those fingertips, the wrist, and down and up. So reaching, and then fingers come up. Feel those claws and wrist bend, fingers, and then they come down. And then feel them again there, the fingers, the fingernails at the bottom there. And just notice the energy that's getting generated, the feelings that you notice in your hands. So now we got the third, that's the third gate. Now the fourth gate would be the shoulders. So here we're going to reach with the wrists, fingers are hanging. Reach with the elbows. And we're activating the shoulders now. And fingers come up. Feel those fingernails. And then coming down, reach down with your elbows. And this, when you reach down with your elbows, you're activating the shoulder gate. Reach down with the wrists. Down with the fingers. Feel the fingernails. And the wrists, let the fingers get very sung. Reach with your wrists. Reach with your elbows. Open the shoulder gate. Reach with the fingers. Fingers come up. Feel the Feel those fingernails, and then coming down, reach down with your elbows, down with your wrists, down with the fingers. Reach down. So that was gig number 4. Gig number 5. And we'll do this. So we start, reach with the wrists, fingers hanging, very soon. Reach with your elbows. Open the shoulder joints. Reach with the fingers. And now we got the 5th gate is your scapula, your shoulder blade. So you want to reach forward and open your back. So bring up your fingers and feel that connection all the way through from your feet all the way to your fingertips through your back. And now reach down with your elbows, your wrists, feel those fingernails. And fingers, feel the nails. Again, all 5. So we go reach with the wrists. Just pause there a moment. Just feel into that. Feel the fingers hanging, getting very soon. Your wrists are very soft. You reach with the elbows. Reach with the shoulders. Opening the shoulders. Reach with your scapula. Extend the fingers. Feel those fingernails. And reach down with the elbows. Down with the wrists. Down with the fingers. And pause a moment and just feel into that. Feel the unification of your body-mind. Feel everything is just working together. One body, one chi. So notice that we did it by breaking it down into parts and feeling them at a superconscious level, which then brings them back into a higher state of unity. There's a certain unity that occurs at a preconscious level, but then whenever we bring consciousness into it, we activate a higher state. We bring spirit into the equation, and we activate our superconscious state. So we have taken the preconscious and we've made it very conscious now, and consequently we're opening up the energy gates as we do that. So one more time here. So you reach with the wrists, fingers hang. Reach with the elbows, and just pause there a moment, just feeling that. Feeling your arms very soon. Just hanging out. There's a minimum there. This is also too where you can use use some weights, that like we did the last couple of weeks. I can come up here and I can just feel that. I want to feel the body mechanics as I'm just hanging out here, and I want to feel how to distribute this energy and this load throughout my connective tissue system with a minimum of distortion, a maximum amount of efficiency. And then I come up here and then I reach out and open my scapula. Hands come up, fingers come up, and they come down, reach down with the elbows, down with the wrists, down with the fingers, and open the joints. Just feel your arms very soon. Having some sort of load here this these are 3 pounds each, but that's a little much for some people. So just just anything just to give you some sort of feedback is helpful on that front. You can feel the sung. You can feel the way that your connective tissue system is supporting the load. It's not lifting it. I'm not doing this. I'm not lifting these weights. I'm carrying it there. It's a passive load rather than an active one. And that brings it into sung. Okay, so now I like to take these same principles and vary it slightly and do the William C.C. Chen's 60 movements, the opening from that, which looks a lot like what we've been doing here. And that is, it goes like this. Only here we're going to come in, and then the hands will come up and hands come down like this, and then reach down. All right, so that's the overview. So let's just feel into that. And we can take something which can be done as a toss off, and we can make it really alive. We can use our conscious feeling, our conscious doing, to generate a tremendous amount of Jin by opening up the 5 energy gates, these 5 energy gates, as we do that. So we begin with your weight in your heels and feel nice and sung. You're back to the reaching with the crown of your head, tucking in your chin, and feeling those 3 pillars as we begin. And now we're going to rock to the, not rock, we're going to feel the balls of the feet. So, Master Chen talks about the energy is produced by this exchange between the heel nail and the ball. And so that first and second nail. So we begin to energize, reach with the wrist. And so when I say reach, you're extending, not just up like this, you're reaching out as well as up. And so the fingernails, feel those on your hands, but your fingers are very relaxed right now. You're reaching with your wrist. And feel that, just the sung in your arms as you do that. You reach with your elbows. And here it's not up like this. It's you can see it's like it's forward and out. So it's the direction. So it's not like this. It's up. So the fingers are very sung. The wrists are very sung. The elbows are reaching, but they're also sung. So that your arms are very sung. And what we've done here, by doing this, we've activated the shoulder gate. Now we reach with the fingers, feel those fingernails, and open up the back and feel the scapula. So we've opened up that 5th energy gate, and you can feel that yang connection. You're in the balls of your feet. You can feel that yang connection as you extend those fingers out. You feel that the fingernails, and it has a very yang kind of electrifying feel on the whole system. So then we sink into the heels, drop the elbows, reach down with the elbows, bend the wrists. So notice that we're in the heels, now we're in the yin part. The wrists are relaxed, the fingers are very sung, the elbows are down, shoulders are open, and the scapula is very sung. Now we go back to the balls of the feet and reach up, bend the wrists, or straighten the wrists, reach up with the fingers and go into press down with the big toes. And just feel that yang connection there. Now sink into your heels. Reach down with your elbows. You're opening your shoulder joints, that shoulder gate. Reach down with your wrists with the fingers up. So the wrists are bent like this now. You're wiping down a wall in front of you. Feel that. Now just pause right here and just feel the chi dam in your wrists. By bending like this, you're actually enhancing the flow on the underside of your arms, particularly on the pericardial meridian, and you're filling up your hands as you're going down. This is a yin. We're gathering our chi. And continue down, heels. You're very soon. Keep your wrists bent at this point. You're in your heels. And just pause there and just feel into the chi that's accumulating, that's being generated in the palms of your hands right now at the Lao Gong point, and which is on the pericardial meridian. And then go into the balls of your feet now and reach down with your fingers, feel your fingernails. Open all your joints. You just feel that energy circulate freely. So what we've done here, we've opened the 5 energy gates by using this opening to a Tai Chi form. Let's do that again. Let's sink into your heels. Get very sung. Reach with your elbows. You're opening up your shoulder joints. Everything very sung. Now go into the balls of your feet. Reach with your wrists. Pause right there. Just feel the sung in the arms. Reach with your elbows. Open up your shoulder joints. Feel that sung. Everything very sung. Now reach with the fingers. Feel those fingernails. Open up your back. Spread your back so that you're feeling the space between your scapulars. Feel that yang chi that gets generated there. Now sink in your heels. Reach down with your elbows. Bend your wrists. Your fingers are very sung. Feel that yin. Shoulders are very relaxed. Elbows, wrists. All 5 energy gates are in a very yin position right now. And then we go back to the balls of the feet. Press down with the big toes. Reach with the fingers. Straighten the wrist. Reach with the fingers. Feel the fingernails. Feel that yang. Sink into your heels. Feel the yin as you elbows reach down. Wrists reach down. Wrists are bent. Fingers are up. Feel the chi as you move very slowly. Feel the chi filling your hands. Pause. Feel the chi dam. And then reach down, go into the balls of your feet. Reach down, reach with your fingers. Press down with the big toes. Feel that yang. Now sink into your heels and relax. And one more of these. Feel the balls of your feet. Reach with your wrist. Very slowly. Feel the sung. So with that, as we get more and more sung, there's more and more chi flow. We can feel any of the kinks in the hose as we move. And we can then, if we do it slowly, we can then kind of iron those out. Reach with the elbows, open up your shoulder joints. Reach with your fingers, open up your shoulder blades. Feel those fingernails. Press down with your big toes. Feel the yang. Sink into the heels, reach down with your elbows. Wrists very sung, fingers very sung. Into the balls of your feet, fingers come up. Feel the fingernails, press down with your big toes. Feel the yang. Sink into the heels. Press down with your wrists, fingers up. Feel the energy. We're mobilizing our chi. With the balls of your feet, reach down with the fingers, press down with the big toes. Excuse me. And relax, sink into your heels. And gather. Okay, so now we're going to take that same idea and put it into a different exercise. And this is one for also for an exploration of wood chi, but it works with the five energy gates in the same way. And this one I'm going to turn around and face the opposite direction, and you can follow me from behind. So, so find your three pillars. And begin. So your first thing is you want to reach with your elbow. So you're opening up the shoulder gate. There. And you reach with the wrist. The elbow and the wrist. And then extend your fingers. And then feel those fingernails. And then reach out and open up your shoulder blades, your scapula as you reach out. Feel that extension there. And then relax your shoulder. Reach down with your elbow, sink in your heel. Reach down with your wrist. Reach down with the fingers. Feel your fingernails. Open the joints. Let's go to the other side. So feel the heel nail. Reach with the elbow. So opening up the shoulder joint. Reach with the wrist. You're opening up the elbow. Wrist is very sung. Fingers are very sung. And then reach with the fingers. With the balls of your feet, press down with the big toe. Open your scapula, open the shoulder blades. Feel the joints, all the joints in your arm. Your arm is getting longer. You're creating space in your joints. And then think of your heel, reach down with your elbow. Now with the wrist. Now with the fingers. Feel your arm very sung. Feel the fingertips, the fingernails. Think of your right heel. Reach with your right elbow. Very gently, very sung. Your right wrist. Your fingers. Feel your fingernails. When the balls of your feet, press down with the big toe. Open your shoulder blades. Feel your arm. You're opening up the joints. Feel that extension. Your arms are getting very long. Gumby. And then sink into your heel. Reach down with the elbow. Down with the wrist. Fingers. Reach down with your arm. Feel your arm getting longer as you get more sung. You're elongating your connective tissue. Feel those fingernails. Feel the wood chi, that expansive yang chi, the chi of spring. Sink into your left heel. Reach with your left elbow, your left wrist, fingers. Go into the ball of your foot. Press down with the big toe. Reach with the fingers. Open the scapula. Open. Feel all the joints just opening, getting very expanded, lengthened. Think of your heel, reach down with your elbow, down with the wrist, down with the fingers. Pause and feel both arms. Feel your arm just getting very sung, feel the joints opening, feel the chi as you have opened the energy gates. Once more, here we go. Sink into your right heel, reach with your elbow, reach with your wrist, the ball of your feet, your foot. Reach with the fingers, press down with the big toe. Open your shoulder blades, open the joints. Very relaxed, very soft, no stiffness there at all. Just feel like as if someone were pulling on your arm. It's made of Play-Doh. Just kind of pulling it out there, and then reach down with your elbow, sink into your heel, reach down with your wrist, down with your fingers. Very soon. Your left heel, left elbow, left wrist, all of your left foot. Reach with the fingers, press down with your big toe. Open your back, open your shoulder blades. Reach out, open your joints. Feel that stretchiness in your arms. Feel that lengthening going all the way down through your feet and into the earth. And then sink into your heel. Reach down with your elbow, down with your wrist, down with the fingers. Feel the fingers. Feel your fingernails. And pause there and just feel into your body. With each breath, do you find yourself getting even more strong? Muscular tension is dissolved. Just pause there and feel into that. Now, as you inhale, go into the balls of your feet. Press down with the big toes. And as you exhale, sink into your heels. Inhale, balls of your feet. Big toes. Feel that yang. Exhale, yin to the heels. Inhale, balls to your feet. Press down. Exhale, yin, heels. Step in. Take a deep breath. Inhale, go into the balls of your feet. Press down with the big toes. Arms come up. Float up. And sink into your heels and press down. Disappear the chi. Empty out. Feel into the insubstantiality of it.
Yeah, Nick, I heard you last week mentioning the fishing weights, and I pulled these out of some wrist weights that I had, and they're just the
Great.
perfect size.
Oh,
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah. What was so poignant for me this evening were my fingernails. And at times I felt like they were an extra pair of legs when I had them pointing down.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. When they were down, it's like I had four legs, you know?
Wow.
Yeah.
Uh,
And then there was going up as well. And when we started the practice, um, I think I was hearing my chi,
mm,
but I was only hearing it when I was going down.
mm,
And then that changed towards the end. And another thing that shifted for me was initially I couldn't feel the energy in my thumbs, but after repeated practice, I got it all going.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Thank you. That's that's great.
Mm.
Jonathan, you're on mute.
You're on mute.
I know, I know, I know. Sharon, nails are probably number one on my list on the simplest things to do to get the most result. I mean, right in there with pointing, and they're kind of related. And as I know I've said this before, but when I brought Master Yang to the Open Center, that's the teaching I remember him most emphasizing. Maybe because I brought him in the spring, whatever. But it's so powerful, and I keep forgetting to do it. But Rick, first of all, I would be in heaven if you would go through the form like this, one move a day with all of the elbow, wrist. That would be pure heaven for me, and appropriate for beginners and advanced students at the same time. So just putting that out there. But one thing I wanted to just make sure I've got, because it seems like the elbow either reaches sideways or it reaches down, but never out. In other words, if it reaches out, it would be the fingers and the wrist, and the way we're moving and with maximum coherence. Because I realized that if the moment I try to move out with my elbow, which you can do, my scapula closes some.
It closes or opens?
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, in other
Good
words, to
open.
move from my
If you reach
elbow is to bunch it.
your scapula is going to open.
Well, it opens if I do it from the wrist. In other words, if my elbows are out and I move from my wrist, my scapula definitely opens. But if I don't do it from my wrist and I just move it from like wrist, you're dead. It's just the elbow moving. It's a different relation to my scapula.
If I could just reach out, I'm definitely opening up my my scapula
To the
cage.
to the sides and down. But if you're reaching forward, wouldn't you being led? I mean, this is a question. Wouldn't you be led by the fingers in the wrist? Isn't that forward what moves the elbow out as opposed to the sides and down?
It can be, but you can still reach forward with it and open up your shoulder blades. So
That's interesting.
It's just as if you're going to touch something with your elbow, and so
maybe that. But I don't know. Somehow if I move it forward like this, I'm tight. I'm closing down, which doesn't happen if I don't know. All right,
play around with it. It shouldn't. If you get the other gates, open and you do that, then it should be.
You mean once it's even out to the side to go forward without using the wrist? That seems not what we're doing. In other words, the wrists lead when we go down, but they don't lead when they go out. The wrist.
Can it be done, or is it done? It can be done, but we also do it. We're doing it as a sequence there too, but it can be done. So it's not. So it's not a.
Obviously, it can be done, but I'm just saying it seems to close. For me, it seems to close things down more than if I. Well, I don't know. I'll work with it.
I mean, as a martial artist, a very effective tool is to just boom, crack someone.
Oh yeah, okay. Now we're okay.
So you're opening up your scapula.
I get that, but then you're really putting that as the. Whereas here, you're deadening this to say just go for the elbow. That could be dead there because we're going out no matter what.
You're just zooming.
Yeah, I mean, I get anything where the elbow is leading. I'm just saying
that definitely opens the scapula.
Okay, I'll play with this.
Okay, Lynn.
I had a lovely time with extending, like getting longer arms, and it's like each time, So the first time we, extended the arm and it got longer. I was like, okay. I mean, it was so much longer than the other one. And I'm like, oh, it'll even out. So yeah, the other one, it evened out. And then I'm like, okay, I've extended them both. They should be the same. But then I extended again and it got longer again. I was like, oh. But to Jonathan's point, Jonathan, I had a little bit of point where when I was reaching out with my elbows, if I didn't expand my shoulder correctly, then my scapula froze up. Right. If I didn't relax my shoulder so I don't know if that's what you're feeling, but that's the experience I had. And so I realized that I was not letting my elbows reach forward. I was actually engaging my shoulders in the way to do it. To do it.
But when you were moving your elbow forward, wasn't your wrist engaged? This is my point. When the wrist, it's different. You can move your elbow forward.
But you're lifting different points, But anyway, I was getting my shoulder in the way, and I don't know if that might have blocked the scapula. It blocked mine.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks for that.
Oh, anybody else? John.
I was feeling like you can either push the wrist out with the elbow or pull the elbow with the wrist.
Right.
Depends on how you think of it.
Exactly. Yeah. The question is about, because you can pull the elbow out with the wrist, do you ever not want to pull the elbow out with the wrist in your going forward? Side is one thing, that's another thing. But when the elbow is behind the movement, I just think it's one of the brilliance of this teaching is that there's a whole nother way to move your elbow, and it's the more coherent way, it seems. Forward, to move when the elbow's behind. The wrist can be dead or not. I can go like that, or I can go like that.
Please don't say dead, because that's not what we want here. We want sung.
We want sung, right? And we want. I believe We always want, right, we always want the wrist and the fingers to lead the elbow out, not the elbow to push the wrist out. I don't know, it seems obvious, but
I can
guess.
show you on Thursday.
Okay.
Cool. Valerie.
Not this. No, don't show me this, please.
Well, I didn't have any of that problem. So it makes me happy that I felt the scapula, just moving and expanding and more space. So that was a real good thing. I mean, the whole thing was lovely. Everything was lovely. My middle fingers were tingling, especially on my right hand. And that's liver, right? Liver associated with the middle finger, which is wood, which I thought was a little bonus.
Cool.
I
Excellent.
really, in particular, because I have, a little bit of difficulty with the right arm, I liked going out more to the side and doing each arm individually, and then feeling that all drop back in. And then the other side, particularly good for me. It was particularly good.
Beautiful. As far as the middle finger, that's also on your pericardial meridian.
Yes.
So as where a lot of the stuff is, really amplifying your pericardium, the chi just coming out of your lao gong points, and you're going to feel that in the middle finger too. So that's another way of thinking of it. Cool. Scott.
Yeah, it was amazing. It's amazing how far my arm goes out. I mean, I was standing next to that pole right there, and I started my fingers at the one end of the pole, and by the time I was done, I was beyond the other end. And it's like a 4.5-inch pole.
Wow.
Yeah, it's amazing to me.
Terrific.
I found it just standing there and just activating, start activating fingers, wrist, elbows, shoulder, shoulders, scapula, and then going back and then shoulders, back and then reverse. It's a really great meditation, and it's like you just get waves.
Beautiful.
It's really cool.
Thank you for bringing that up, because that is true. You can just do it as a standing meditation, and you just can, just by bringing that conscious feeling and doing, you can selectively open up any one of the gates.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of what you're pointing at there. Is it's like where we can actually just get very precise in that. And the more we familiarize ourselves with that process, the easier it is to do it at speed. So when we're going back to this as a martial art, being able to activate all these things and get your energy, you're moving, then you're able to handle things just instantaneously, just by being able to relaxedly express your chi.
Oh, one more thing. Since half of us have shoulders and elbows and stuff, my shoulder and my elbow definitely feel much better now.
Beautiful.
Giving them some space, because the tennis elbow, that's kind of what it is. It's not enough space. So.
Right.
Yeah.
Good point.
Yeah.
Valerie, you had something?
Yes, it's always amazing to me. And I love that it's like, wow, again, it's like the beginner's mind kind of thing. When you bring your attention to any particular area, like we were doing today, thought directs energy, energy follows your thought, how substantial those areas become just by focusing on it, focusing on the heel, focusing on the ball of the foot, the big toe. It's always, and again, maybe it shouldn't boggle my mind, but it does. It just always is thrilling. It's like, wow, again? Yay. I love that. I love that. I can feel and appreciate as we were working with the gates today, how wonderful that is, that we can get the energy there, let the energy move through it. It's yay team.
Beautiful. There's a Chinese expression, Yi Dao, Qi Dao, which we usually translate as the Yi leads the Qi leads the blood. Which and that's if we bring our attention and intention to a certain area, the Qi fills that, and then the body's resources go there as well. But Sharon, you had something.
I was just going to say, I've been just amazed by the power of my mind within this. And I was, again, problem with the shoulder, and I had my arm out, and this isn't right for me. And then I took my claws and I reached them over to the couch like 3 feet away. And I said, they can just rest there. And then everything was okay.
Beautiful.
And that was my mind, it was.
Good. That's perfect. We want to adapt these exercises to our own bodies, So I'm showing you with a weight, but use the fishing lures, and or the whatever, just to whatever is works for you, because we're going for a particular effect here that is heightened awareness and getting some external feedback on for our Song and our Jin and our body mechanics. And if we have that, then we're adapting to to what's available and also to our own physical conditions. Nick.
So that's a great segue. Thank you. I was going to suggest that for those like myself who have a tendency to want to obsess in some of these kinds of exercises, don't forget that you have all those other joints in your hands, in the fingers, and don't forget your legs, ankles, feet, and toes. Yeah. You can do all of the same things. Beautiful. With any of them. It's so much fun.
Absolutely, yes. Feel free to experiment. Yes, wonderful. Cool. Anybody else? Okay. Thank you all so much. It's been a lot of fun.
Thank you.
Really appreciate
Thank you, Maria.
Love you, Maria.
Yes,
I love you
Rick.
guys.
Love you guys too.
Bye-bye.